My name is Dontez Lindsay. I am the general manager of Dux Trading LLC, as well as the lead trainer of StockCraft. I'm not a financial advisor, nor a CPA, and the content I create is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I trade in my account, and everything I do is hypothetical in nature because it doesn't happen in your account. My experience with trading is not typical, nor does it guarantee that similar results will be obtained by you. I am merely sharing my opinion with no guarantee of gains or losses in investments. Remember, day trading can be extremely risky. You should be prepared to lose all the funds that you use for day trading. In particular, you should not fund day trading activities with retirement savings, student loans, second mortgages, emergency funds, funds set aside for purposes such as education or home ownership, or funds required to meet your living expenses. Further, certain evidence indicates that investments less than $50,000 will significantly impair the ability of a day trader to make a profit. Of course, an investment of $50,000 or more will no way guarantee a success. With that out of the way, let's get into the content. Good morning, guys. Yeah, we can see. Awesome. Actions. All right, so a lot longer to get out of. That took a lot longer this morning. Long story short, market, it faked out a lot of people yesterday, and I was one of them. Woke up, looked at my phone, and I was just like, okay, I'm happy because some people got out, but I'm also mad because, again, I missed, a decent amount of money that could have been in my pocket. But it's okay. Everyone had the same opportunity. And all I got to say is for like people with like contracts under a week, especially the intraday contracts, just remember those decay like by 10% when your premium as the hour go by. So if you're doing a month contract, the decay does it like 1/30 in the beginning. You're doing an intraday contract, it's 1/25 hours or 24 hours. So in the first hour that you get into that contract, you're already 10% down in the next hour. So like keep that in mind. Then it scales in that same way where whatever expiration date you have, just put it in the denominator and 1 on the top of it, and that's pretty much your time decay. And it speeds up over time, depending on your theta and delta. But at the end of the day, yeah, I think this is going to do a strong pullback because, the markets don't go one way. Even though yesterday it kind of went up over $10 after going down $10. Now we're going to probably be somewhere in the middle. So I'm actually going to short this again around probably 14. But other than that, talk about small cap. Didn't see anything with heavy volume yet. Trade on the back end. What's everybody doing? Had to delay the stream a lot. Wouldn't come up. I don't think this is. Over here looking around my water bottle. You ever like try to clean your house and then you clean in a way where you start vacuuming under the couch or around a chair instead of actually lifting it up? I'd be doing that when I look at stuff on my screen. I'm like, okay, I won't bother you. I'll just try to look around you. But doing something. Oh, last night I was playing with the strategy builder and the scanner, everything like that on StockCraft, and I stayed up a lot later than I thought I would. I got like way too into it to the point where I was trying to make strategies in my head in the middle of the night. It actually got really annoying. Like, forgot how to go to sleep. Uh, Another thing. Every day I have broker problems. Um, Keeps adding to my trading. Today we got the numbers for unemployment, and next week we have the numbers for PI, and yeah, payroll. It actually, oh okay, payroll. I was like, it actually exceeded. Bearish report. Good news for the caucus for the Fed. Oh, so improved employment numbers. Yeah, it's good for the economy. It was another thing. Oh, the vice chair, no, the vice Fed president. He's supposed to be speaking today at like 10:30, like part two of what she did yesterday. And she is actually against the Fed president, at least on paper. And the way that plays into the stock market is she doesn't want to do the pause, but the president wants to do the pause. And so I kind of want to see what kind of reaction are people going to have about that. Because she's going to take on a whole new, role in terms of, when Bullard came on, everybody's just like, oh yeah, King of the Bulls. Oh no, I don't want to chase this, but I want to chase. It was something. Morning. Good morning. So gonna chill for now. Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything. Not on all on but what's supposed to be. Yeah, sure. Wait for it. That's a drop 6% at the open. Oh, I remember what I was about to say. Guidance for most of the companies, they should be changing right about now. Especially following Microsoft's guidance change. And we're going into the weekend where Friday they're doing this. Everyone knows what the CPI report's going to come out as. Inflation's still here. Overall, we're thinking negative. But there's always people that are like slow to the uptake. Finally chase credit an hour later. Okay. About to start talking about food. You had a million. AMLX. Yeah, I was looking at that on the side. It's only up 32. Pharmaceutical, 9 million. Market cap's huge compared to the float. Pretty cool. And it's a high price stock. Only turnout for me is the range. And it had that FDA approval. FDA decision date for ALSP therapy. There's ALS. Oh, Lou Gehrig's disease. So right now they didn't even get the FDA approval. They just got the decision date in September. So that's something that's not bullish enough to give them the funding that they want right away. But it does put the date on the FDA calendar, which is it's pretty good. But I say like 50% max, more than like it going up to 75% plus. Main thing is it enough range to trade? I eventually think it's going to fall off. It's a no touch for me. Even though I think I can get like 5%, maybe 10, like comfortably. My problem with watching Tesla and SPY right now is I know the demand got, and there's a lot of people trapped. 'Cause like yesterday's slow grind was ridiculous. I just know we have a double bottom at 403 now. I said 403, 407, and we just grind through that 412. But the chances of it doing like another $10 day, like right away, is, I don't know. Now the gap down came from everyone's like anxiety associated with the payroll, the increasing room that the Fed has to like pretty much double all rate hikes in June and July, and then just pause in September. But then they're going back with that we don't know what we're gonna do kind of thing. At the end of the day, if I really want to be safe, I could just get a like month-long contract and put it on there. But I feel like I'm gonna miss on the deal if it goes back up. The main thing is I don't want to hold into the weekend no matter what. But then I missed the chance of it cracking like 405, then being stuck under pretty much 405. All supports become resistances. Resistances become supports. So let's see. Is your mic cutting in and out, or is it just me? Never mind. You seem good now. Third 412 test. My girlfriend is going to Dunkin' Donuts for me in a minute. Awesome. Just don't want to fall into the trap that like since I sat down, I'm looking at the stock, I have to trade. I can't look at it too much. Like there's something wrong. Then you have to look at the parents' face. He did it. Oh, one of the things I was looking at yesterday was trying to replicate one of Steven's strategy, and all that. Looking at some quantitative trading sites. I tried on my other computer. Yeah. Well, main thing is after running like some strategy in uh, the scanner brought up a lot of stuff that I felt like it would have just been faster if I just scanned it myself. but the strategy builder, like, it started making me think in a different way, and I started having to, you know, code the stuff that I didn't know how to code, which was, I can get range, I can get minimum volume, I can get evidence of like loss of liquidity. But then I started thinking, okay, how do I put in this triple top? I'll put in this triple top. How do I get like previous close is lower than the current open? Like show like uptrending stocks. And the more I started getting into it, the more I'm just like, man, how do I do this pattern? Well, the pattern before, the actual opportunity window needs this minimum amount of range. Eventually I start learning about, not learning, but like touching up on like trend indicators, matching them with oscillators, pretty much oversold, underbought indicators, and then trying to plug and chug other things that are pieces of a pattern that for, but then putting them together. Oh, that was like, I know I had to say it with like profanity, but that was hard. Main thing is I started learning about IBR. I kind of already knew about that. I just didn't know how to apply it. There's a lot of stuff I know, but I just don't know how to apply it. Think it too hard. Still don't see anything popping up in the small cap. Go all in on GME. Yeah, that was another thing. I looked up and I saw GME went down $5. So like, I want to go in on everything just because I know overall macro is pointing we're going down. But I also don't want to get into a habit of just chasing everything. And if I do chase stuff, I'll chase it with small amount. But the chances of me, like the Dontez in the morning, actually not chasing even more later, a lot less. At the end of the day, if I'm chasing now, I'm going like an intraday contract, or I'm going in 100K, like something super that's not smart. And at the end of the day, I'd rather just turn off my platform and just walk away and wait till this comes back with more secure position for me. Yeah. Like, that's a little pullback here. Like, how do you say it? It's those times that you want to trade that you shouldn't trade. And I can't tell if this is one of those times. We're like, we are going into the weekend. Yeah, but I'm not going to spread my FOMO. But it's like hard to even try to think about it, or not think about it, share it without spreading your own fears. All I got to do is say, all I will say is those people that have intraday contracts, especially ones previous day, remember time decay goes down like 10% at a time. So save what you can. Because even if you do get all the way down to like at the bottom the last few days, by the time the time decay gets there, I can just show you right long. I don't know if they're at the money or out of the money. We're at 7:30. So when you look at the time decay on these, this contract is 1 day. Break even point is 728. Next day, goes down by 5%. Oh, I put it in 10. But there we go. So this is what it actually looks like. So notice how, what would that be? The difference from like a week where the next day you lose 5% on wherever you started versus, you know, today went in, your break even point at the end of the day is not even till like under 700. Oh yeah, yeah, because the contract is reselect for today's. So, why does it keeps resetting it back to 10? Are they not doing intraday contract? Here to manually. I'll do it. There we go. Better. So, got into a contract right now. The next day at that same level, down because you only have an entry. Same thing applies when you have like those 2-day contracts, except you're gonna go down like 50% each day, and then it just goes down from there by just changing the number of the denominator by 1. So like from 50% to 30% down each. The upside to that is you look at how it's priced. $5 price won't, but time decay, because there's not an option for this. But main thing is we want to see the break even points. So if the break even point for this around like 800 next day on this 3-day contract, down 50%. Day after that, it's down almost 100. Then that last day on the expiration date, there's actually a 4-day contract. Then it all expires. But notice on the 3rd day, anywhere below like $70 off of 700, it's down a lot. So on SPY, that looks worse. It's pretty much the bottom. Yeah, but that's all I really want to say. Time decay is really dangerous, and you know, when you get below a week, it starts affecting you every hour. That was one of the things that I learned while gambling. So always be, at least when you're doing the risky count, because those habits definitely carry over, like in a traumatic way, the overall options. Oh, also, don't pay too much attention to the overlying price. It's more about the bid and ask. And then going to the $5 away. Tesla, it's like $50 away, $100 away. Look for the big open interest ones. That's how we pretty much have to see what people. Give me it. if I was really ballsy, uh, well, actually, that's different. Code, question mark. Did you work in an IT company? I probably will work on Google company or Amazon. Those, if you work at Google or Amazon, I think they have really, and then their screening for who they'll hire be pretty high. All high level programmers. Yeah, it's gonna try to rally, but it's gonna come back. These are probably just the people. I'm not gonna speculate. I still think this is coming down. At the end of the day, they're trying to trap everybody, long and short. So, trapped longs, trap shorts. Now we're gonna be somewhere in the middle. What is that website? So cool. Oh, whenever I see this IG up here, um, that's one of the trading, like personal trading websites. Main thing is you just go to Google and just put in quantitative trading. And then whatever you're trying to learn from quantitative, like so last night, what was I looking at? Not porn. Quantitative trading. I think it was like RSI strategy or MACD strategy. Yeah, but like why I was looking at that, it brought me to a really good site. And I really like that site because it pretty much surmised a lot of the research I learned last year and added to it in terms of like insights. I'm like, wow, this is a great find. Quantitative. I just want to see if I can find that website. I can go to my other computer and oh, because this was one of the things from. Yeah, here we go. Best art. I just want this one website because I highly recommend it. Um, I know it was like a mean. No, actually didn't like that. It was like a mean reversion, uh, quantitative strategy, and the way the guy wrote the article, it was amazing. I'm hyping it up, but question that. Like, I know I saved it. Because where I put in my nerd files. I'll get it later. spend too much, especially if small cap. If anything, I think I stalled enough where rally back, and looking at the VIX, went down to like 24 yesterday. Now we're slightly going up. Now when we see the rebound in the VIX, so when the VIX / the volatility fear goes down, where all the puts come out, they're cheap. We kind of peaked at 24 yesterday. In terms of, that's where shorts all just started to load. If it gets to 20, oh, I think the Fed would put all their money on. That's a bad thing overall. It's gonna be stuck in my head. I hate when I think too hard. It hurts my head. Either that or it's just never really tell. But main thing is, when I was doing that, went on the scanner, went to Legacy. I got I was testing out pre-market data stuff. So how do I say this? So like with the scanner, you have this time frame up here, and this is the size of the candle pretty much. So when you're doing the scan, not scanning historic data, it's scanning the actual data going through, like slowly being stored on here. And then when it takes a while, that's just taking a while so it can create charts. But when you do the scan, it's not creating charts, just putting it down here in terms of results that fit the criteria that you made. And so one of the things I did was, since it was after hours, I was like, oh, okay, let me try to put this on the daily candle, look for a high that's over the close, look for something that had a lot of range at the end of the day. But then the more I started like trying those kind of strategies, trying to find the pre-setting for a like gap up or overextended gap down, a few things like that. Even like heavily traded spots where there's like a lot of volatility, trying to like mimic a consolidation. The more I got into it, the more I'm like, man, there's a lot that goes into this. Then it's so easy to get a false signal. So I got a lot of questions to some of our friends. But cool. I want to spend too much time. Directly from decoding markets. I think that was it. Yep, this is it. So, what I want to. Oh yeah. So, a simple strategy for one of the quantitative trading strategies is mean reversion, which pretty much just means get an indicator that finds a trend, and then there's a standard deviation from that trend. You mark that deviation, and then you come back to the trend, And that's why it's called mean reversion. And now being able to do all the steps for that, this guy does a great example of laying out how to do that. And you know, fast forward down to the bottom, see all the people were just like, oh man, I've been doing this stuff for like 3 years and you did everything in one article. Thanks, man. Then like he's super humble. Yeah. And then I was thinking the same stuff. But not same stuff as like this guy doing it. I'm talking about thinking the same thing, like, hey man, you did everything and made it look so much better than me. I need to share this. There was something else I was doing. Yeah. So like he does a great explanation of all the stuff too. Just in awe. But there's one thing that I wanted to. Then I'll go away. Yeah, the have a plan part. Yeah, like pretty much these are the key questions when you do like most quantitative strategy. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to improve like one piece of your strategy at all times. Main thing I try to focus on, trying to find overlapping principles and stuff from Tesla, SPY, QQ, and relate that to uh, when the 10-year yield is over 3 and other macro data, and trying to see if I could create an environment to where I could short the market. Eventually, I ended up finding more like long strategies than actual buy strategies. Then I was like, okay, I think I got a little off topic. And then by the time I realized, it was already like, but it was just a lot of plugging and chugging and then learning the relationship between stuff. Now, we're back at the same place we were yesterday, where market's down at like 412, but then this is all the way down at 720. But normally, not normal, but like yesterday was 750, same level. Like the correlation between these two, it's only based off momentum. Then like this is more accurate than the SPY when it comes to reading that. But main thing is so I was doing long strategies. I'm like, okay, server side. Yeah, so built-in symbols, this is for future forex and ETFs. Go to server side symbols, this is for stocks. Actual data running through that you have to go. ARCA. BY. Put it in the search bar. But that doesn't feel as cool. Yeah, backspace wouldn't do that. Definitely pressed enter. There you are. SPY. And go to NASDAQ. Main thing is you want to have very specific stocks and setups for this. So I just run like 2-3 markets at a time. Do 2 for now, and I'm gonna try the 30-minute candle, because that's where I'm trying to find, like a edge. Like if I wanted, how do you say that? If I wanted like a swing strategy, I'd do something like the 4-hour mark. If I wanted daily strategy, like 30 minutes to like 15 minutes. Yeah, there's all kinds of strategies. What I'm trying to say, but in my case, I like to look at 30-minute chart. I take out two years of data. I could take out more, but I just want to have more recent market stuff to work with. I'm gonna keep my profit target and loss like fixed. So pretty much looking at making 1,000 to 3,000 while risking 1,000. So 3 to 1. I'm gonna personally only look at high winning percentage plays, max holding time of 5 candles, 30-minute candles. So it's 2.5 hours. After that, it's going to forcibly plot on the chart. 100 samples in, 100 samples out. And one of my criteria is when you open up these, you can make signals pretty much to let them know when you want to go in and when you want to go out, and what parts do you want the strategy to require this entry signal before it even considers, giving you a strategy that doesn't have it. So in my case, I was like, okay, so we're doing a long strategy. I only want to buy, overbought signals. It has to be less than 30. And I want that to be required. Now you can do more at a time, but that's just going to bring in a lot more noise. End of the day, it's better to start mixing the signals. So like if I want to go in when the RSI is there, when do I want to exit? I'm like, okay, maybe I want to exit when I do the IBR. Not this one. I know this is another one. I can also do pivot points. Main thing is it's all a preference, and then a lot of just back testing a lot of times and figuring out what works for you for like a robust strategy. I want to play with back D right now. Get your crossover. I thought about the VIX too. All of these are there's stuff you just can't just randomly throw in there. You can, but it won't help you if you don't know what you're trying to look for. For now, let's just watch the entry signal. Well, technically, I should put an exit signal. Because all this is going to do is forcibly plot 5, like 2.5, 2.5 candles. And you're just going to see all the times that you entered when the RSI gave you a buy signal, which, if you know anything about RSI, they always give you, there's like a 1-to-3 ratio in terms of like buy signals to like sell to sell signals in the year. And 2/3 of the sell signals are false. and then a good majority of the buy signals are okay, like 60-70%. So if I just normally held a strategy like buy and hold, actually would have did okay up to this point, but towards like 100 and towards like 1,000, that's where our strategy would have lost to the buy. Now remember, this only does like 5 candles going backwards. Yeah, but I told it to trade it 100 times. The I have the one with the highest winning strategy. I don't want to get too. Okay. What are you guys doing? SOPA. What is kind of cool? Kind of really organized. You got notes for everything. Organized bookmarks. I got all my bookmarks for years ago. One file, and my desk is full of MTT mugs and other stuff. LOL. May I also have your notes about trading? I got all trading related notes in note file. LOL. Super messy, unreadable. A link. It's all finished. All in, finished. So if I give out my notes, I feel like when I show them, I'm already giving them out. But I don't want to actually hand out my notes. Like if I do, I'll do it as like not a worksheet, but like something that I'm trying to give out. Like the way I organize my notes now, they're just cues for me to remember what I did. I would feel some type of way. I just start giving out my notes. Yeah, but it's definitely possible. I've seen some people in the YouTube channels. They talked about can I get a copy of like that stuff? Then I would make them a copy, and then I would send the link, or put in the description. Yeah, I remember going to good. Want the metrics, not the equity. Main thing is, we could see the winning percentage on this is like barely over 50%. So technically, it has an edge. Edge is 50.1%. But in terms of when this falls off, you're gonna have to ask a lot of questions and then do adjustments and variations, see if this is actually okay. And at the end of the day, this is just the entry. We didn't even talk about the exit yet. Like the only reason we got like 3 different ones is because this was the forced plot data. Like the more you the more criteria you put on this, the stricter it's going to be. But at the end of the day, you can just see just RSI by itself going below 30. It definitely beats the buy and hold by a lot. Beats random. Things like that. But main thing is, I want to see how profitable. There we go. Yeah, that should. So it says it's actually not that profitable. Yeah, see the average profit is actually in the negatives. But you can always add in more criteria to make that different. Yeah, there were definitely profitable all that areas in that plot. Keep forgetting which one does the questions. I don't want to rely too much on my notes, because you know, actually applying the memory and stuff like that, can't just keep looking at the notes. Can't even speak right now. I feel like I'm speaking through my nose. It still didn't come back up. Super messy and unreadable. Yeah. Yeah, my notes are the same. Oh wait, were you talking about a link to this? Yeah, I could send that. There we go. Right click this. That's one. Promise. Yeah, it's almost 10:30. Definitely left. Someone said something about SOPA. You guys got. So it was the robustness test. But there's nothing on SO. Even if it did, what was it, 2? That's 10%. Even if it went up to 260, that's 30%. %30 into 80 million resistance. One down macro. Still wouldn't pedal that, even if it is a really weak demand market. Oh, so remember, this was just RSI, and with the RSI, you see this blue one. This is the original, and one of the questions I wanted to ask was not seasonality, meta system. Oh, if we only plotted when this did the last trade loss, what would it look like? Like, all these up here are pretty much questions that I'm asking, and it's going to plot when it answers that question correctly. And we can see the purple one up here is the last trade win. So whenever this wins, that's where it plots the data. So coming up here, so you can see how much it actually wins. But whenever it loses, tell that. Pretty sure it's this one. It goes down here. So negative 3,000, 5,000. So it definitely wins more than it loses. But you can see this isn't all that. I don't want to say consistent, but like smooth. So there's a lot of things that you can do to like smooth out this. And these questions are hints at what you can do. Like delay the close, delay the delay the data to where you only focus at pieces this. And then that's how you form your strategy. Start chopping these up based off of it's drawdown, things like that. I'll do one of these eventually. But yeah, I just wanted to show a little bit of what we're talking about. Oh yeah, I keep running away from like SPY. Like when I look at it, it puts me in a hypnosis. I want to trade it. Oh, it's already 10. Last thing. What? Doesn't even have more than 20 volume. Still staring at me. Oh. Could not see the whole website. With StockCraft Strategy Builder, can you test a strategy on multiple tickers in the market, like pattern? Yeah, so that's what I was doing earlier. I was saying that use the strategy builder and you go to the server side. This is where stocks are. Each one of these are separate symbols that you can put in. And so, I can select this whole area of NASDAQ stocks. So that's almost 5,000 stocks right there. But that's going to take a while to plot that data. So I went in to like plot very specific ones. Well, it's not going to take that long, especially if you play with the data in the right. But main thing is I just wanted to see specific correlations between the stocks that I actually look at for overall market. And that's why I just put in SPY, Tesla, stuff like that. I didn't show it, but where are you? When I put in SPY on this one, and then I put in second market, this one came from NASDAQ, the other one came from ARCA. I put in another one, it brings up all three of those, and then they'll have each of their own charts. Then you can compare them, and then that point where they all kind of, start uptrending or reverse at the same point, you'll start to see whatever like criteria that you put on, it applies to each one of those that you put in here. And then, you can play with the candle size in terms of, how far in terms of like period size is it looking back at a time. And that all depends on, what strategy you're applying, which also depends on type of trader you are. So I was just using 30-minute candle in this. But if I actually just start doing daily, I start pulling out strategies a lot quicker because it's a lot less data to work with. And it goes into that kind of category. If I put in a month, I can get one in seconds. The only reason it took so long before is because I was using 30-minute candle because I was doing day trading kind of periods. And then I can go forever. Main thing is, once I can get it to a point where I could say it like clearly, then you'll get it. But until then, it's just gonna sound like a lot of complicated stuff. But it's actually not complicated. Just put in what you like, you run it through where you want it, and then it pops out with all the results that fit that criteria. And then just keep playing until you find a strategy that works, and then it's like safe to actually test. Like, cause it's that's why the paper trading functions, because you can test your strategy too. But show like what a successful cinema industry. So thought we did that RSI before, and it said, oh, we make money like 1% of the time, and then it had a negative profit. But that was with like no extra, here's the trend, here's the entry point, like other concepts that you want to apply to this. At the end of the day, there was a lot of noise in there. And so if you just chop up that like overall trend that you put in there, that's where you can get something a little more robust, where you can just start dumping money into it until it breaks. Yeah. I just don't want to give you like too much too fast. Yeah. So just review this article, and then you'll have an idea, and then you can play with StockCraft, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's all I can really say. All right, guys, it's 10:30, the weekend. I don't see anything in the small caps that's worth trading. Be safe. Head out. Peace. So it's like Python.